Welcome to the show.
I'm so glad to be here.
I am so excited to have you here. I binge watch very few shows the way I binge watch Narcos. I mean, I start with one and I go like, yeah, I'm just gonna see how this starts. And then by the end of it, I am as addicted as the people that they sell the drugs to in the show. Congratulations on the show.
That's good news. It's healthier.
Yeah, right. It is much healthier, right? Although I would shoot someone for the show. I would. Your character is amazing in the story. People are loving the new series of Narcos Mexico. Félix Gallardo plays a man. You play a man who runs a cartel, but really started the first Mexican cartel. What do you think made him so special? Because everyone was working in drugs in different ways, but this man did something different.
Yeah, he was one step ahead of everyone. You know, he was. I mean, he is because he's alive. He's in jail at the moment. Yes. I'm checking.
I like how you're looking around like,
right?
I think he still is in jail.
Oh,
yes.
Good news. Anyway, so yeah, Félix Gallardo, he managed to create a system that was perfect, you know,
right.
that worked perfectly for many years. Then it fell apart and it got us in the mess we live in today. But it's good to understand how this system worked, you know, because suddenly he made everyone part of a business, you know, where every level of power was involved. And he managed to sit in the same table, people that wanted to kill each other, basically, right. And said, let's work together. You know, let's create a system where we all protect each other and created the biggest business in the planet.
What's interesting is you also play him in a way where genuinely, I know for myself, we like him as an audience. You know, he starts from nothing. You see his journey, you see how hard he works, you see how much he loves his family, and you play him from the human side, and we watch him change over time. When you're playing a character like that, do you have to learn how to like him as well?
No. I think you should get checked. You know? I know a few therapists that can help you.
But he really is. He's likable.
No. I mean, yes, of course. We don't judge the character. I, as an actor, cannot judge a character.
Right.
You know, I have to humanize the character. I have to give it like a 3-dimension. So it's not the bad guy.
Yes.
You know, it's a guy that makes wrong choices.
Right.
Probably thinks he crosses a line I would never cross. But he has a reason, and his reasons are the same reasons that move me, you, and anyone, you know? Love, jealousy, ambition,
right.
Guilt. So, yeah, you just have to make sure you know why he's making the choices he makes, you know? And obviously, we also want to talk about what happens when they go back home. How do they relate with their, you know, their loved ones, friendship, family? All of that is important to understand a character. But if you get to the episode 10 and you like the guy,
oh no, I mean,
I don't know if I would be working here anymore.
I'll tell you this. You know, one thing I enjoyed about Narcos Mexico was it captures the nuance of the drug war in a way few stories do. So many times in life, we want to have a good guy and a bad guy.
Yeah.
But in this story, we learn that, especially in the drug war, there were so many good people doing bad things and so many bad people who are sometimes doing good things. It's hard to put your finger. It's the drug cartels, but at the same time, it's the Mexican government who's helping them. And at some point, basically, the drug cartels working for them. You have the American government who's enabling this. You have the CIA who's contributing to this. Is that important in telling the story for you?
I think, yeah, we have to understand the complexity of it in order to bring change one day, you know? We have to feel part of the problem, you know? And we always talk about trafficking as being the big issue, and the big issue is the market. I mean, there is a demand, you know? And as long as there's a demand, there'll be someone providing, you know? So it's not about building walls. It's not about militarizing from the borders, you know? It's about understanding that we have to attack the market issue. And if you tell the story of these people and this system, you have to understand corruption got really deep, you know? And it managed to reach every level of power, military, police, banks, you know? How does the money move, you know? It's, you know, millions and millions of dollars.
Somebody has to be moving it.
It's like, where's the money, you know? And who's selling homes to these people, and who's accepting cash to sell them a car, and who, like, so then you understand that it's a bigger issue, you know? And that probably, yes, obviously, these guys are not good people. They deserve to be in jail, definitely. But there are so many criminals out there wearing suits, you know, and still out there. Yeah.
That's powerful.
In my country, many of them.
That's powerful. It's true. You were born and raised in Mexico, and then you moved to LA. But then, after experiencing some success, you moved back to Mexico. Why did you make that move? A lot of people would think everyone wants to get out of Mexico, and that's that. But you moved back to Mexico. Why?
Well, as I guess as a storyteller or whatever I am, I felt I needed the freedom I used to feel in Mexico. You know, in Mexico, every story I tell has to do with who I am. You know, there's a connection, and my job. There's no line between the professional and the personal. You know, the stories I tell have to matter to me, have to connect with who I am, and the stories I want to tell are there. You know, so I can go there, experience that freedom, and then fly back to the States, cross the border. I have a visa, so I can cross the border. It helps. You know,
quite a bit.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this then. As a Mexican, born and raised in Mexico, as someone who's seen Mexico through many different decades, through many different leaders, have you seen changes in Mexico? Do people feel like Mexico is becoming a better place to live in? You know, is it the crime-ridden place that Trump and many of his people label it as? Or do you see a potential future for Mexico? Is there hope? I know that you have a new president coming in. What is just even a sense of yours of what's on the horizon for the country?
There's a feeling that things cannot go worse than the last 6 years. You know? This president, I mean, the president leaving in a few days, he's just like, we're so glad he's leaving, basically.
Wow, okay.
And I think he is really glad too, you know?
The feeling is mutual, that's funny.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And the turnout in the last election was amazing, you know? We just have one round and 53% of the people voted for the same thing.
Right.
So, and this is the new option, you know? The one that has never been there, you know? So that tells you like...
That sounds very familiar.
Yeah. It can go right or wrong, right?
Right.
Yeah,
and so you have, no, like I mean,
suddenly you went,
no. I mean, just the one who's never done it before. what could happen there? But
things can always get worse. That's true.
Right.
But I really hope not, and I really hope things change for good and there's a change of system. But it is a rough time in Mexico. It is a difficult time, and the violence is a big issue there.
Right.
You know, in the last 12 years, more than 250,000 people have been killed because of this war on drugs.
Right.
And the numbers are crazy, right? It's
that is insane. That's war as like war. That you would
it's
think
like
of.
One of the countries where, you know, being a journalist is the most dangerous thing, you know? They kill them, it's ridiculous.
So what would you say your hope and your vision for Mexico would be? And more importantly, actually, what would you say some of the misconceptions are that people have? Because everyone has an idea of Mexico. You know, but if you were to say to somebody, hey, I know what you think of Mexicans and Mexico, but there are some things that would surprise you, what would those things be?
The warmth, the you know, the love you can find there, the amount of things that connect us, in fact, you know. I mean, and you cannot blame everyone. There's a speech of hate and based on fear, you know, and it's not just the president of this country, but it is people here and in both sides of the border. Now with the migrant caravan, you can see that. There was a reaction also in Mexico of people, being violent to them and thinking they're talking to criminals, and you go like, no, it's so far from that, you know. These are families, these are kids and women trying to survive, to find a place where they can live, to run away from violence and poverty. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that in Mexico, there's a lot of people that would love to connect to the people in this country. Right. You know, and there's so much we can do together, and we cannot allow a border to define the way we relate to each other, you know?
I love that, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
Okay.
Genuinely, one of my favorite actors, one of my favorite shows, Narcos Mexico, is available now on Netflix. Diego Luna, everybody.